All right, so today we're going to be talking about Nintendo's latest announcement that has confused, well, quite a lot of people, but I feel like I have some potential insight into this to kind of make a little bit of sense about it. And no, we're not talking about good old MEO. I feel like I've covered MEO enough. I've seen the smart comments in the comment section. Oh, bro got himself worked up thinking it was something that it wasn't. Look, have you ever heard of marketing? All you had to do was make the initial teaser trailer in an anime style, and immediately I probably would not have been interested in it. When you use a more realistic art style, though, it's going to invoke different sorts of thoughts. And really, at the end of the day, nobody's buying Famicom Detective Club games. Look at how the other game that released on the Switch did. It did terribly. So if you want to enjoy MEO's adventure on the Nintendo Switch, put your money where your mouth is, or else you're just as bad as some of these Metroid fans. But now that I've pissed off a lot of you, we're not talking about that. We're actually talking about something that happened about a day or so ago that confused a lot of people, and really it kind of comes down to the timing of things. So let's take a look at this together, and I kind of want to explore some potential different things that this could mean. So what is the announcement in question? Well, here it is. A new Joy-Con stand, a Joy-Con charging stand, two-way, a device dedicated to charging Joy-Con controllers, as well as Nintendo Entertainment System controllers for Nintendo Switch, is releasing on 10/17. And yes, this is from the year 2024, not the year 2017, when you would think that this would have been announced, because, I mean, we've been using Joy-Cons since 2017, and when you take a look at the device here, it looks kind of interesting. You can see people here surprised these weren't released earlier. Ooh, who is the account that I muted? I'll never tell. They just annoy the hell out of me. So here's the device itself. It's a little Joy-Con stand. You plug it in at the top here, and you can put two Joy-Cons in. We have a Switch OLED system here. You can get another image of it here. You could sort of do it like this. Yeah, it's not the worst looking thing in the world. You play the system like that. Look, before I got a Pro controller, I played with the stupid dog bone thing, and I kind of liked it. But maybe I just got used to it. And then you can see here, this is charging up the Nintendo Entertainment System controllers for NES World Championship, or Nintendo World Championship NES Edition. So really the big question is, why in God's name are they announcing this now when there's been tons of officially licensed Nintendo products that already do this? Hori has made different charging stations. I believe Hori made one for up to 4 different controllers at once. So why is Nintendo announcing this well over 7 years into the life cycle of the system when we're probably at the tail end of the system? Well, I kind of want to go over the different sorts of trains of thought that people are having with this, and kind of go from realistic to potentially unrealistic, but worth talking about. So the first reason I feel like this could be potentially a thing isn't more so because of the Joy-Cons, but it's because of these NES controllers. Because right now, you don't have a way to charge your NES controllers in the way that you would do it sort of like a Joy-Con. So to be able to charge 2 of these at once, you know, it sounds somewhat interesting. And of course, Nintendo is doing a big push for Nintendo World Championships NES Edition, a game that, like I said in my video the other day, like, I've become strangely addicted to it. Like, I am looking up like meta of how to beat things faster, because like a game like Super Mario Brothers 2, like, I'm kind of familiar with it, but I'm not like super familiar with it. So on the little evasion is key mission, like now I'm using Luigi and I'm avoiding the carpet ride, and I'm jumping on the little things that fly across the screen instead to work on my time. Like, it's become something that I am playing a hell of a lot because, I don't know, I have problems with it. So like, to me, that kind of makes sense. You know, it kind of makes sense in order to do something like this to help promote NES or Nintendo World Championship NES Edition. Then of course you have another train of thought. Well, maybe Nintendo's just slow to the party with this. And I mean, It wouldn't be the first time. I mean, this is the company that's making a new Famicom Detective Club game when nobody bought the last one. Like, I don't know. That seems kind of like a waste of time. I'm always going to make fun of that. And I'm always going to make fun of Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. If you want someone to suck Nintendo's teat all the time, there are plenty of channels for you. I'm not going to talk about things or say I like things when I don't actually like them. So could Nintendo just be late to this party with this, you know, Joy-Con stand, charging stand thing? Sure, maybe. But there's one thing that's kind of been in the back of my mind ever since this was announced, and we have to go back to something we talked about back in April. Now, this was a write-up done by a company called MobaPad, which makes different Nintendo Switch accessories. And we actually talked about this when it initially was first discussed, and I completely wrote it off like many people did, but I did talk about it because I thought it was interesting to say the very least. But they allegedly had some insights into the Nintendo Switch 2 and what to expect from it. Now, this was supposedly, you know, firsthand information from the processing places, you know, the companies manufacturing things. They talked about stuff like backwards compatibility, that the system will continue to use Joy-Cons, still equipped with ALPS dual axis linear motors for HD rumble, whatever. But this was kind of the interesting thing about it, was that a new version of a Joy-Con with a larger volume and the sliding rail structure has been changed to magnetic suction. And obviously, you know, I made the ICP magnets, how do they work sort of meme with this. And when you look at this initially, like, it sounds interesting enough, but, you know, having magnets on it, you know, kind of what's the point? But if you think about this other product that we just discussed and kind of how it works, let's take a look at it again, because I think that that's actually very important to this. You see, this is using the rail system that we have right now. And in that previous article that we just read, it said that Joy-Cons were going to be compatible with the Nintendo Switch successor, but there's also going to be a new Joy-Con that uses a magnetic sort of thing. So maybe Nintendo is thinking, well, you're not going to be able to charge your standard Joy-Cons that you have now on your Switch 2 the way you charge them on your Switch 1. If your Switch 1 has a charge, you put it into the sides of the system, and then whoopity-doo, all of a sudden you're getting a charge to your Joy-Cons. If that's removed off of the Switch 2, maybe this is a device that Nintendo is officially releasing in order to sort of circumvent that. So if you're wanting to use original Joy-Cons and you don't have a way to sort of charge them otherwise, you can use this official product that will then be used on the Switch 2. Now, it is kind of a stretch, and I definitely don't think that that is a definitive answer for this, but I do think it is a potential possibility. You know, you have to look at it from a possibility standpoint. What the hell would Nintendo be doing releasing this so late into the system's life cycle if it was only going to be used for the Nintendo Switch system? If it was really for the NES controllers, like some people think it is, like, that makes sense. But why not do like an NES World Championships aesthetic with it? You know, why not put like a skin on it or make something cool to charge your NES controllers with it that's more so dedicated to the nostalgia of Nintendo World Championships that I'm sure a lot of people are feeling right now? I don't know. You know, I don't have a definitive answer, and I don't think anyone has a definitive answer with this, but I think the theories are interesting enough because, you know, if you go with Occam's razor, it's just Nintendo being Nintendo, releasing something later on in a system's life cycle, really with no sort of rhyme or reason. And that's probably a good sort of mindset to have with this. But if those magnetic Joy-Cons and the revamped Joy-Cons for the upcoming system are indeed a reality, then this would kind of make sense to future-proof the standard Joy-Cons that we have now. I don't know, though. What do you think about this? Do you think it has anything to do with a Switch successor? Do you think it's Nintendo just being late to the party? Do you think it has to do with NES controllers and, you know, pushing for a Nintendo World Championship Edition? Because I don't think there's a right or wrong answer with this. I think it just kind of comes down to what you think it's about. But it's definitely very confusing, and it's definitely something worth discussing. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And as always, guys, thank you for watching this video. Obviously, my MEO jokes and Donkey Kong Country Returns jokes, or just jokes. If you're excited for those games, awesome. Go make a video about it on your channel. Go talk about it in a positive manner on Twitter, but I'm not excited for them, so I'm not going to act excited for them. Do you want me to be real with you, or do you want me to be a shill? And as always, thank you for watching this video. Hit subscribe if you're new, like, share the video, and as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.